So our story of Romeo and Juliet comes to a close. Alright, so we got Naruto 624, and it's actually out a bit early, even though we had to wait a week, and I'm kind of happy. And honestly, things wrapped up rather quickly opposed to what I thought. I thought we were going to be in this flashback a bit longer, maybe like a couple more chapters, but this chapter pretty much wrapped up everything. It felt like Izuna's death really wasn't explained a bit more. I thought it was going to go a little bit more into detail, but it was pretty much that he just lost in a fight with the with the Senju. We didn't really get at exactly like who did it and how they did it and whatnot, but he was just kind of like, messed up from the battle and whatnot, and then basically he passed away shortly after. And it wasn't until after that where, Hashirama and Madara pretty much it was done from there on. And honestly, it really just felt like it was something where Madara just was kind of like the Sasuke of the situation. Like, in all honesty, this really feels like, in a way, their own version of how Naruto and Sasuke had a split. And that was due to, like I remember Sasuke doing something very similar, and it escapes me at the moment, but that one line at the very end of the chapter where Madara was like, kill your brother and then I'll trust you, or kill yourself and then I'll trust you. And honestly, that really gave me the chills the way the chapter ended. That gave me the chills because it was just like that shows that he's already on that path of just like Sasuke, and there's no turning back. He's not gonna stop at that point. Now, the way things wrapped up, I wouldn't be surprised in all honesty, because Hashirama at that point reminded me of Naruto when it came to Madara. When Tobirama was about to give him that final blow, he looked at him and he was like, "Don't you dare lay a hand on him," or something like that. And honestly, he gave him a freaking scare because he gave him like the eyes of like, "Yo, I'll hurt you." And that just reminded me again of like Naruto and Sasuke. How Naruto is like, like, "Don't you say anything bad about Sasuke," it's just really people that they don't want to let go of a friend that went bad. And sometimes, like, when it comes to like these situations, it's really hard to look at it, because on one hand is like, do you really give up a friend that you really cherish, and regardless of how much time passed and how many things you've been through, do you really give them up? But at the same time, maybe it's time at some given point to say, yo, this is the end. I tried my best with this person, and they're not budging. They're not changing, especially Madara and Sasuke, people like them, where they're trying to kill. They're hateful. You know, I guess maybe Hashirama and Naruto, they go beyond the normal particular person. They see the good in people to the point where it's to a fault. And this probably was Hashirama's biggest mistake, is trying to help his friend. Jiraiya's biggest mistake was keeping on trying, like, I can't kill Orochimaru. Sarutobi's biggest mistake, I can't kill Orochimaru. A lot of these people, their biggest mistake was their kindness and their passion and their love. And it seemed as though love in too much doses is actually bad. And that's really the big powerful message I got from this chapter, is like, love can screw you over in the end when you really think about it. Because had Hashirama really not cared for this person so much, we wouldn't have had all these terrible events before the village and all these people. And likewise, as the cycle continues, if Naruto didn't care for Sasuke so much, maybe he could have took him out at some given point, like part one, the controversial battle where they at the very end. And instead of Naruto going straight to kill him, it seemed as though he was just going for the challenge of scratching his headband. And partially, it was probably due to, like, this is my friend. I don't really want to hurt him. And, you can say the same with battles like this. And honestly, like, that's really what I got from this chapter, is like, love, sometimes it makes you do crazy things, and not in a, crazy way. What I mean is, he protecting his friend screwed everyone over in the end. And Hashirama, I'm sure he thinks about it now and he regrets it. I wish we would have got to see more of the battle with him and Madara, like, because we got that flashback, and then we went into this flashback, and I'm not so sure we're gonna see that. A theory I guess out there that I could throw out there is that maybe Hashirama or Tobirama, to help Hashirama, because he feels so bad for his brother, and he's like, that's my brother's friend. Maybe he creates Edo Tensei, or tells him about Edo Tensei, to try to tell him, yo, maybe we could bring back your brother Izuna. We could call a truce or something. Maybe that's something, to think about. Maybe that's where Edo Tensei comes from. I'm not exactly sure. I previously thought maybe it had something to do with the dads, but they quickly kind of like wrapped that thing up. Kishimoto really didn't expand on the fathers too much. Like the last chapter seemed as though we were going to go into this really epic battle, and we didn't really get much of that. So I was a little let down about that because I was a little excited about that fight. Like, ooh, Busama, and they were going to go at it, and we kind of just got like a quick wrap up. But it did show that they kind of really cared about their children. Like from the text, it was basically saying that their hearts would be broken if their children died. So we got a little bit, I guess, to see that they weren't too cold hearted at the same time. And it sucks that Madara and Hashirama had to end up like this. But again, like I said, sometimes shit just doesn't go right. And yeah, this chapter, it felt more like a philosophical thing, honestly. It didn't really feel like a typical Naruto, really looking at it with the whole way Naruto normally is. It kind of really just felt like a bit larger than normal. And it's interesting, honestly, because it's the foundation of the series, and you would see where the love and hatred continues onward throughout the Leaf Village time and time again. And honestly, it just seems that it's messed up. Love can be bad at times. Loving something too much can cause hatred. Madara, loving his brothers too much in his clan, caused all this hatred. Hashirama, caring for his friend to a fault, caused all this hatred. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that, this is larger than obviously like a normal thing, but a big question? Do you think that love sometimes can be too much? Caring for something too much can be a bad thing. I think so. I think that, like, cases like Naruto, cases like Hashirama, cases like Sarutobi, cases like Kakashi, loving somebody, caring somebody for so much is really a fault, I think. And I think that that's where a lot of this stuff keeps going, because sometimes maybe Danzo had it right sometimes. Yeah, he went about it the wrong way, but he was the anti-hero, and maybe they had, maybe he had the right idea. Maybe if some of these people would have implemented some of that cold-heartedness, and yeah, it's not always the right thing, don't get me wrong. I think that Naruto, he has the right mindset. It's just sometimes things don't work out, and same thing with Hashirama. But let me know what you guys think, though. Is love and excessiveness too much at times? Can it really be a hindrance? And I think that chapters like this prove that it can be. But again, let me know what you think. Overall thoughts of the chapter. It wasn't what I expected. I felt as though it wrapped things up very quickly. We might get a little bit more of the flashback, I'm guessing. Maybe like one more chapter, because it ended off with like the end of the flashback seemingly, because we were in the flashback of them fighting, and this seems to have ended prior to that fight, I'm guessing. So yeah, just overall thoughts of that. I give this chapter a 3.5 out of 5, because I just felt like things were wrapped up a bit quickly. I felt like Kishimoto was just like in there and out after we kind of had like a couple of build-up chapters. So I give it 3.5 out of 5. Still enjoyable. It really just gave a little more perspective into Hashirama and Madara, where the hatred and love all began. And I think that was very important, and gave a nice foundation to where things ultimately lead. That's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to see where everything is going to go, because after this flashback, obviously, we're going to go back to the present with the return of the Kages, and things are going to get real, so can't wait. I'm from Netherworld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.